Hello there, friends. Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and I'm here today with Lilith and, well, also a couple other pink and purple dragons that wanted to join in the fun. And we're talking about a really specific book today for two reasons. It's the absolute perfect time to read this book. Well, it's a graphic novel, so to read this graphic novel because it is a beautiful love story, but also it is centered around the theme of Lunar New Year. So it's perfect because Lunar New Year just started a few days ago. It's the year of the dragon, and Valentine's Day is in a couple days as well. So I can't think of a more perfect time to read this graphic novel. And usually I talk about graphic novels in twos. If I'm doing a video about a graphic novel, I usually try to do more than one at a time. But this one, I really just wanted to focus on this very specific one today because I read it and absolutely, completely fell in love with it, and I think you will too, and I really wanted to take some time to talk about it with you. So, the name of this book is Lunar New Year Love Story, and it's by Luen Yang. Lunar New Year Love Story. So, the first thing I want to do is talk about the story. So, first of all, it is a little bit of a longer graphic novel, but I think that even if you get sometimes not really hyped up about graphic novels that are on the longer side, this one you will love because it flows really well, and I couldn't stop reading it once I started. It's not a lot of action, right? So it's not like it keeps you on the edge of your seat like a thriller or anything like that, but the character development was just so absolutely incredible in this story, and I could not wait to find out what happens to our main character. So our main character, her name is Valentina, and she is obsessed with Valentine's Day. Or, well, she used to be. So when she was younger, she loved Valentine's Day. It was her favorite holiday of the year, and she had this sort of imaginary friend named Saint Valentine that looked like a little Cupid that she talked to and that helped her make cards for everybody, and it was basically like her best friend. And it was someone that she could talk to, that she shared in her love of Valentine's Day, because her mother died when she was younger and her father never remarried. So she sort of believes that this love story that her father had with her mother was just so beautiful and perfect that she can't help but love her own name, Valentina, and love the holiday for Valentine's Day. So when she's younger, she's always making handmade Valentines to give to her classmates. And something changes, though, her freshman year of high school. She learns a truth, a family secret that was kept hidden from her by her dad. And it changes her whole belief system about Valentine's Day and about love in general. She meets her grandmother for the first time in years, and her grandmother gives her this information about how, you know, their family seems to be cursed in love, that everything always ends badly for them. So because of this conversation with her grandmother and because of the secret that her dad gives her, she feels completely lost. She doesn't believe in love anymore. She doesn't trust her family anymore. She doesn't trust herself anymore either. And worst of all, her imaginary friend that she talked to that looked like a little Cupid turned, when her feelings turned, into this old, decrepit being that looks more like Saint Valentine, like the way the actual person, because he was a real person, he looks more like the statue now because she lost her love. And he gives her a ultimatum. He says, well, why don't you give your heart to me, and then you'll never feel anything again? And she's not sure about that. So she makes a deal with him. And she decides to say, for 1 year, she's going to see if love really exists, if it's worth fighting for. And if at the end of that year she still doesn't believe it, then she will give her heart to Saint Valentine. And I believe what they're trying to say is that means that she's giving up on love. That means she's not going to fall in love. She's not going to feel love for her family and friends. And she's going to really not believe in any of that or in herself, which is just really, really sad. So around this same time, I remember I said that this was not just a story about Valentine's Day and love, but it's also a story about Lunar New Year. So after this, her grandmother takes her to a Lunar New Year festival for the first time. And she sees these dragon dancers and just is completely transfixed by the beauty and the art of this dance. So because she used to do she was a ballerina when she was younger, she decides she wants to sign up and start learning how to do these dragon dances. And when she does, she meets these two boys who are very cute, and one of them she gets along with right away. He's silly and goofy and fun. The other one is more reserved and sullen and doesn't really want to talk to her. And she has to wonder if one of these two boys are going to help her find her heart, if they're going to help her find her love for not just someone else, but if she's going to rediscover her love for her family and for herself, which is the most important love at all, right? You have to love yourself first. I loved this graphic novel. It had so many different elements to it. It had the element with the family, you know, heritage and secrets and culture and things being passed down, not just good things, not just traditions and fun things like that, but also, you know, things like curses or beliefs that, you know, go from generation to generation. But it is also a love story. It is a story of Valentina, you know, learning about herself and finding a person that she can really connect with. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I loved the character development, and the growth in this graphic novel was just fantastic. And honestly, the graphics were just so beautiful. They were gorgeous graphics. I loved it so much. Everything about this graphic novel, everything about it was just phenomenal. Loved it so much. So, like I said, because of the two aspects of it, it's a perfect time of year to read this. Valentine's Day is this week. We're in the middle of Lunar New Year. So it's a wonderful, wonderful time to read this. But honestly, I think any time would be great because it's such a fantastic graphic novel. Highly, highly recommend it. Lunar New Year love story. Well, that's what we've got for you guys today. I hope that this graphic novel sounds really awesome and that you want to give it a shot. If so, please feel free to come check it out from Farmington Community Library. And also thank you so, so much for watching, friends. Have a wonderful rest of the day.